Okay, so I just watched The Crash on Netflix, and a lot of people online are talking, a lot of therapists are discussing things regarding Mackenzie, her plea, and her parents. And one thing I'll just say from working with little people all day is that after watching The Crash, I see MacKenzies every day. And we could see clearly in this documentary that her parents were either completely wrapped around her finger, or they were verbally abused by her as well. And because these parents were so gung-ho to be friends to their daughter as opposed to parents, they let their daughter run shop on them. And I see this happen with kids that are kindergarten, third grade. Like, I will see parents come and pick up their kids, and their kids tell them, no, we're not doing this. I want to do this, so you just wait while I go do this. I see it every day. This need to appease your child, I agree it was needed on some level, because authoritarianism in terms of parenting isn't necessarily the best way to go. However, when you don't have that level or some level of authoritative energy with your child, you raise kids who don't have social or boundaries and don't believe in consequences. And I've had to tell children to their faces when they tell me, well, my mom doesn't da-da-da-da-da, and I'll be like, I'm not your mama. I'm not your mama. This is not your house. This is my space. I asked you to do A, B, and C. And they'd just be like, they've never heard that from an adult before. And this will be me asking them to clean up messes that they created, okay? Nothing outlandish, just like, you don't run up in this room and make a mess and think I'm cleaning up after you. Absolutely not. So what's crazy is, like, watching this documentary, you can see the level of freedom Mackenzie was raised in. Because the fact that she was able to have a full-on boyfriend at 13, because she killed her boyfriend at 17. They were together for 4 years. The fact that she was able to move into someone's home, her boyfriend's home, at 17, all because of a promise in their eyes or a puppy love stage. Like, the fact that the dad was like, yeah, I know she's smoking weed, but I'd rather her do that than drink, or I'd rather her do blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, on TikTok, she's doing more than just weed. And not only that, she's doing weed every single day, like bong hitting to the face daily on her TikToks. And there's just like a level of that I see nowadays with parenting, where parents allow children to believe that children know what's best. Like, I literally have had kids tell me, I have kids tell me every day, I know that, I know what to do with there, I know, and I say, okay, well then you teach the class, go ahead. Or I say, okay, well then do it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, parents have allowed children to believe that children know what's best for them. Yes, children should be able to advocate. Yes, children should feel safe enough to talk about their feelings. But children, until, I will say even up until the age of 20, like, these motherfuckers don't know anything. But it's almost like parents are making up for what they feel they didn't get in terms of having a voice, and giving it full on to the child and supporting anything that the child says. And I thought it was very strange that the father actually is a teacher, so you deal with this shit every day. Like, when you work in schools, you deal with kids lying to your face every day. You deal with kids lying to their parents. You deal with kids crashing out, and then when their parents show up, they're an angel. Like, so he literally works in that environment, but is also a product of that environment. Like, and I personally feel like parents are just afraid to do the work. And look, and y'all can take it how you want to take it, but in order to have that balance of authoritative and open forum for you to feel in your parenting, it's a lot of juggling. It's also a lot of confronting and dissecting and investigating that I feel like most parents don't want to take the time to do. It's easier for them to just say, well, my kid doesn't like this, so I'm just not going to do it. Or my kid said it was this, so yeah, that's what it is. Like, I've literally had talks with parents when their child started extremely being disruptive out of nowhere to discuss with them what is possibly going on at home and in schools. And when I have talked to that child one-on-one, that child has told me things that I learned that probably was a lie. But when I brought it to the parents' attention for the third time, I literally had a dad say, well, we asked him, but I didn't really want to go too deep into it, so I just let it go. How you just letting it go when every time this child comes, he's extremely disruptive and he never was that kid before? Aren't you trying to figure out what's happening? And he looked like he was just exhausted. And I get it. It's not easy to be a parent. You're working, you're surviving, and this economy is very difficult. But that does not mean that you just let shit slide all the time. And I feel like, especially with her mom, MacKenzie's mom, my God, when she was sitting up there talking about MacKenzie had a traumatizing experience, she didn't realize this was going to happen. And the judge was like, all I hear is you talking about MacKenzie. I don't hear you talking about two dead people. And I said, thank you, Judge. Not a nan time did this woman say anything about these children that she claimed were like her own. And then this was the whole did. She said, Dom, yes, Dom. She didn't talk about Dom. She didn't talk about how it hurt her that he's no longer in her life since he was like a son to her. She said this little boy's name and then kept talking about her daughter and how this is affecting her daughter. Like, the way that I've seen parents pedestalize their children is why I just feel like we are raising a bunch of grandiose, narcissist, entitled children who don't have boundaries, who don't respect rules, who think they can do whatever, who crash out when they have to do a little bit of work. The amount of kids I have crash out when they have to do 1 page of work or computer work. Most of these kids get to play on their computers all day. The level of crash out I see, and I'm like, bruh, you would never make it in my lifetime. We didn't have computers. This is a luxury. All this to say is, I see this every day. Parents are trying to, create little princes and princesses out of kids who need discipline. And I will also add to it, like, I am one of the stricter people in my school environments, especially being a sub. I gotta come in hot, because what you're not gonna do is drive me fucking crazy all day, okay? And what I've experienced is the kids that I am the hardest on, that I am the most I need to lay down discipline with, those are the kids that lean into me the most. So this is why I think MacKenzie ran the shit out of her parents, because they let her do whatever. So she started to look at them like she was above them. I really, really think this is what happened. And then just hearing the way the mom was talking to her on the phone and they're talking, I was like, something's off. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, parents, y'all need to really think about this gentle parenting, because it's not working. It does not work, and it's not beneficial to anybody across the board.